I'm Kosta from Ford Know-How, and finally Ranger Raptor has arrived. I'm going to take you through the car, inside, a tour of the outside, and we're also going to have a good look underneath. If you don't want to go through the whole video and you want to skip ahead, we have done chapters, so if you go and look down in the links below, you can jump to the chapters that interest you. In the front, we've got the dual recovery points on both sides. We saw those on the Ranger, but they're here on the Raptor as well. Really exciting, really aggressive front grille, exactly what we would have expected for a car like the Raptor. A big bold statement that says Ford across the top. And the other interesting one is the front camera. So in the Rangers, that is hidden underneath the logo. And because we don't have that here on the Raptor, it's got its own center stage right there along with the washer. We've also got the radar that's fitted just underneath the number plate, as well as the front park sensors, again wrapping all the way around a 6 sensor system to give you good coverage around the front of the vehicle. The LED fog lights, and one of my favorites is that it's got the dynamic lights built into the headlights. Those are there so that when you turn left or right, they light up in this direction. A lot of the other systems, more basic systems, will use the fog light, but Raptor gets its own dedicated light for that purpose. It's got the Ranger honeycomb front grille, and just behind the O here is where the main air intake is situated, and we'll have a look at that closer just now. Under the hood here we've got the main air intake that feeds into the air box over here where the air filter would sit, and then from there feeds into the V6 twin turbo engine. Looking at the Raptor, I can now understand why they've left so much space under this bonnet. Earlier when we looked at the Ranger, it seemed like there was a lot of extra space underneath here, and clearly that was to facilitate the Raptor engine. You can see how it completely fills up the engine bay, and in contrast to the Ranger, you don't have the space here for a second battery. So the assumption, I guess, from my side at this stage is that you would have to put that second battery somewhere else if you did indeed want it. 292 kilowatts, a massive improvement from previous generation Raptors, and the much anticipated V6 twin turbo. We also moved from a diesel into a petrol. The hood gets these two matte black vents. They're designed to allow air to come back out of the engine compartment just to better circulate air and to better cool the engine bay. The car is fitted with active grille shutters, which allows them to open and close and moderate the amount of air that gets taken into intercooler. It's fitted with the Fox suspension, both the front and the rear, and it also has these active dampeners, making it a very responsive suspension. The upper and lower control arms are cast aluminium, making them lighter and stronger. So Raptor is fitted with a unique bash plate that is different to the Ranger. It is thicker, it is also longer, and in addition to that, if you come a little bit further back, you'll notice that the bash plate that protects the gearbox is also wider than the Ranger one and bigger. The front differential is cast iron, so unlike Ranger, they have not gone for an aluminium front differential but kept it as cast iron. Iron is a little bit more robust than aluminium. In the Ranger, they did it to save weight and reduce weight, but with Raptor, because it's designed to have off-road credentials, they have stuck with the cast iron, which is more robust. So the chassis is reinforced with these bars running both sides of the vehicle, and in addition there are bolt points across here and there that would look with what it appears like you'd be able to attach an additional bash plate here if you were considering serious off-roading. And the transfer case also is fitted with a bash plate. Again, when I glance at this one and compare it to the Ranger, this one appears to be bigger. So the transfer case is aluminium, same as the Ranger. So the dual exhaust system runs from the two banks from the front, and over here they actually meet in an X formation. The X formation is designed to improve the exhaust gas flow and also help with the sound. Further to that, they've also got a valve control, electronically controlled valve over here, that again allows the user to change the sound of the exhaust. The coil springs have been moved on the outside of the chassis. That means that they actually get to stand further apart, improving the stability of the rear suspension and just giving the car a better hold on the road. The Watts link suspension, really interesting. It actually controls movement and stabilizes the suspension from left to right rather than just up and down the way that it's designed. Fox springs go in at the back, and the electronic park brake controller, same as the Ranger, we get that over here as well. This suspension arm is fitted with a sensor that electronically monitors the movement of this arm and then talks to the shock, to the adaptive function of the shock absorber to actually control how much the adaptive dampening moderates the movement of the rear wheels based on these sensors. At the back we've got the dual exhaust system, and we also get the dual recovery points for the Raptor. It does mean that the positioning of these rear exhaust means that the car loses the rear box step. So coming to the side, we've got this unique side vent, different to the Rangers in that it doesn't have the engine denomination on there. It doesn't need it because there's only one variable. Skirts over here, or arches rather, are wider and bigger, and they're also blacked out to just add a contrast to the bodywork. 17-inch all-terrain Goodrich tire, and interesting enough, it says Baha Champion on it. The mirrors here are color-coded. The 360-degree view camera sit underneath, as well as the puddle lamps, which are situated over there. Color-coded door handles. This side step, unlike Ranger, is a full steel side step bolted onto the undercarriage of the car, so a lot stronger, and it's got this non-slip finish to it as well. Privacy glass in the back. Raptor decal has stayed true to the Raptor logo, and that's carried over from the previous one and goes on pretty much the same spot. I did want to mention that it doesn't have a sports bar. That's something that they've kept from the old Raptor, and the play on the rear suspension here, you can just see the height. It's just incredible. It's just to allow it that extra space and movement in a off-road situation to be able to have a big play on the rear suspension. The rear taillights gets a whole new look with these two side reflectors, and your blind spot radar is actually situated right here in the rear taillight. Rear park sensors also get a 90-degree sensor over here, really useful for those tricky angles when reversing. You can also see the chrome tipped exhaust that's sticking out from the bottom there. So we've got the two rated recovery points at the back. We've also got the twin exhausts that are sticking out on either side of the recovery points. We've got the rear park sensors, which again, it's a 6 sensor system, which just allows it that extra wraparound on the 90-degree. It gets the blacked out Raptor badge, a very cool feature of the Raptor, and something that Ford reserves only for its Ford performance vehicles, but it gets the black Ford badge at the back. The rear or third high-mounted stoplight is moved down from the top of the cabin, integrated into the tailgate, again allowing for it to remain visible if you decide to accessorize your Raptor. Looking at the tailgate down, we see straight away that Raptor comes standard with a spray-in bed liner. It's a little bit different to the standard bed liners that come in the Rangers. You can option in the spray-in on the Ranger, but it comes standard on the Raptor. The advantages of the spray-in is that it's just stuck. It creates better adhesion with the body, and it means there's nowhere for any dust to get in or get in underneath and create any kind of contact with the bodywork, so it's a lot more robust. Even though Raptor would traditionally not be considered as your typical work vehicle, they have still included the ruler over here, and they've also included the clamp points. Additionally, they have protected the bodywork of the vehicle, same as the Ranger, where all these contact points have been treated and protected. Looking inside the bed, you've got your tie-down points over there. You've got your dual-mounted rear cabin lights. Again, that's a very nice upgrade that they've done on the new series. Traditionally, there used to just be one light in the center there. They've now done the two lights. And you've also got a charging point over here. First impression of the interior is that it's so immaculate and so well done that I almost don't even want to climb inside the car. The quality finish of the material, the soft touch materials that they've chosen to use in all the eye level parts of the vehicle are just absolutely next level. I mean, Raptor has always had a very high quality finish, but just looking at this car, first impression, they've taken it to the next level. The look and feel and touch of the steering wheel is exquisite. It's something that you're going to interact with on a daily basis. The Raptor logo that they've embossed here onto the steering wheel is, again, it's at another level. It's actually embossed, and then it's also colored in the stitching to match the same coloring, to match the same finishes on the seating. The same Raptor logo on the back of the seating, matching up with what you've got on the steering wheel. Starting at the driver's door, you've got all your controls integrated over here. You've got your mood lighting that comes in there. The quality material that they've used on the top here, where you would normally rest your arm while driving the vehicle, is very high quality. The same integrated door handle that latches into the door here, so your grab handle and your release handle are all integrated into this one area, and your cup holders, which slot in at the door. Looking at the steering wheel, you've got your intelligent adaptive cruise control, as well as all your audio controls on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you've got your trip computers, and you've also got your suspension and your R button, which is used to change the modes, I believe, for the vehicle, as well as your steering adjustments. So it's got the electric brake controller fitted over there. It's got the same controllers for the air conditioning and volume controls as the Ranger. This whole section down here is straight out of the Ranger. The e-controller, the cup holders, the electric park brake, and even the drive mode selector indicator over here, all very much the same as Ranger. The quality finish of the material changes though, where this is a soft touch material that they've used here, which is not the same as the Ranger. Dual glove boxes, the same material that runs across the top of the dash here, runs across the top of this glove box. The same panel that you would find in the Wildtrack there, as well as the second glove box and the cup holders. Bang & Olufsen sound system with the tweeters at the top, as well as a big speaker in the middle and a subwoofer that sits behind the rear seat. The interior is blacked out, so you get a black finish all the way through the cabin, and you've also got all your auxiliary switches situated at the top here, a full bank of switches. It's used for powering accessories. Sunglasses holder, as well as the two reading lights left and right. Driver and passenger seats are electronically controlled with lumbar support. So looking at the center console, you get the dual air vents with the same styling that you get out of the front air vents. You've also got a USB and a USB-C charging point. The finish of the rear seats is the same high quality finish and leather suede finish that we get from the front. Comes over to the back. There's a release switch over there, same as the Ranger. Differences are that you get the subwoofer at the back here, and you also get the jacks and all the ISOFIX tethering points for the child seats as well. The base also lifts up and appears to be spring loaded because it's really light and easy to move up and down. It gets the storage compartments, both sides, the left and the right, and as well as all your toolkit that sits over there, nicely strapped down and well insulated, so you won't get any rattles or noises coming from that. Little storage pockets in the front here, center armrest with cup holders. The paddle shifters, the minus and the plus, for going down gears and going up gears, they are quite big and they run quite a distance behind. That's just to make them accessible for if you're ever off-roading, so that they give you a bigger range of play. So Raptor gets a full 12-inch digital cluster, unlike the normal Ranger that has the 8-inch that has those little analog cutoffs to the left and to the right. Raptor has a full 12-inch digital display. In addition to that, it's also got the full digital display in the center as well, 12-inch. On startup, the first thing that you'll notice at the top is all your controllers and your Raptor status. It gives you what status the vehicle is in. So the top is normal, the vehicle's in normal mode, the electronic stability program is in normal mode, your steering is in normal, your suspension is in normal, your exhaust is in normal, and the off-road functionalities are off. So when you start it up for the first time, it's just in normal street mode. So we've got a video that's going to come out and explain all the functionality on these displays, so have a look at that when you have a chance. Alright, so the first drive mode is normal, our normal drive mode. If we scroll, the next one comes up is sport. 4x4 shift has come into play here when we go into slippery. Mud and ruts also gives us 4x4 shift in progress, off-road use only, C manual. So at this stage it would have engaged the rear differential and it's warning us only drive in this mode off-road. From that mode we scroll over into the sand mode. In this case it's still got us in 4 high, it's still got us in off-road mode, and it's switched off the electronic stability program. And finally Baha Mode. Much anticipated, and probably needs a lot more airtime than we're going to give it here today, but if you need more information on that, there will be some coming. And Baha Mode will also tune the exhaust. So from Baha Mode you go to rock crawl mode. In rock crawl mode it actually puts the vehicle into 4 low and asks you to shift it into neutral before it does that. So if we do that, shift it into neutral, 4x4 shift in progress, you can hear it engaging. Electronic stability control is off and we are now in 4 low, and that's rock crawl mode. Okay. So to go back to Baha Mode, 4x4 shift in progress, it's now taken us out of low range and into our off-road mode. What's really cool is when you go into the off-road mode, it actually gives you your pitch and roll indicators over there, as well as what is happening with your drivetrain and your 2 differentials and your transfer case. So mud and ruts, you can see off-road use only, rear differential is engaged, and 4x4 is also engaged. Slippery mode, this you can use on sealed surfaces. It's disengaged the rear differential. It's left us in 4A or automatic 4x4, all-wheel drive rather. And sport mode. And back to normal. 7 different drive modes. Check out our videos on how to use the touch screens. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you've got any suggestions or any ideas for future videos, leave them in the comments below. That's a wrap on the Raptor. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.